Welcome back everyone, we're at Mildura's historic Psyche Pumps for their first running day for 2025. Stick around. Mildura's Psyche Pumps holds a massive amount of historical significance in our region. Without them, Mildura probably wouldn't have developed into the city that it is today. I've got here really nice and early just to catch up with all the volunteers for their open day today. So let's have a look around. I'm here with Ron Leamon, who's one of the volunteers here at the Psyche Pumps. Good morning, Ron. How are you?
Morning, Paul. Good, thank you.
Can you tell me a little bit about the restoration works that took place here, when they started, what was involved, all that sort of gear?
Yeah, well, the site was decommissioned in 1959 from an active pumping station, and it sat idle till 1987. A group of steam enthusiasts called Sunraysia Steam Preservation Society.
Old boilers?
Oh, that's us. More affectionately known as the Steamies.
Yep.
Decided to do a restoration, and
yep.
they got agreement from, it was FMIT at the time that were managing the site. So they started work, and 8 years later,
up and running.
She's good as new and running, yeah, operational, and it still runs to today. So
beautiful. And today's one of your running days. How often do you do the running days?
Yeah, so we do 4 scheduled running days per year on the main holiday weekends,
yep.
Easter, New Year, obviously for today, and the 2 school holiday weekends. So
yep.
That's 4 scheduled ones, and we do special runs by request from various car clubs or
yep.
special interest groups, engineers and those sorts of people.
Awesome.
So we're quite happy to fire it up when there's enough people that have show interest. Yeah.
Yep, beautiful. I'm going to keep having a wander around. Thanks
yeah.
very much for talking to us, Ron.
No, pleasure.
Good on you. Cheers. The story of the Psyche Pumps begins in the late 19th century when the Chaffey brothers, who were Canadian engineering pioneers, they had a dream of turning the landscape around Mildura into fertile farmland. And that dream took a monumental step forward with the construction of these pumps. I'm here with Mase Ramsay, who's one of the volunteers here at Psyche Pumps. Mase is going to give us a bit of a walkthrough and how it all works. Can you tell us a bit about the operation of it, Mase?
Okay, well it's a triple expansion steam engine which was adapted from a marine engine.
Okay.
So it runs on steam. It was made and installed here in 1889. So it's been around for nearly 140 years. It was built in 1888. It runs on steam. The steam comes into that big white pipe up there.
Yep, so straight up there, yep.
Above the pressure gauge, which currently is reading 0 because we haven't got steam up yet. Along over here, through the steam trap, you can see the big black thing hanging down, that can get the condensate.
Yep.
Then it goes in, there are 3 cylinders in this thing. There's a high pressure, which is the top one you can see up there with the red lever. Yep. So it comes in there at 150 on a good day.
Yep.
Goes down to the intermediate cylinder, which is 24 inches roughly in circumference, and then it goes out to the 2 low pressure cylinders, which are 34 inches in circumference. You can just see one round one at the back there.
Okay, yep.
The steam then goes down to a thing where there's a big red wheel. That's
yep.
the condenser, which condenses the steam, and that effectively gives us a vacuum of about 15 inches of mercury, which gets the last expansion that we can get out of the steam.
Right. So I'm back in the day, this would have been really advanced for its time, wouldn't it?
Well, yes, it's the technology, and how do you make a casting like that?
Yeah, it's incredible.
150 years ago.
Yep. And the transportation, getting it here all the way down the Murray from Echuca, but first of all from Birmingham, that would have been an exercise just in timing. Like you would have had to time the river.
It came in when the river was high.
Yeah.
So they came in through that door you can see up there.
Oh yeah, up there, yep.
And then we used the gantry, which was overhead. You see it there from the other end.
Yep.
And that was used to put the pieces in place. And if we come back to the engine itself.
Yep.
But you can see there's the crankshaft through there.
Yep.
With 3 cranks on it.
Yep.
That was Chaffey's improvement.
Okay.
He put the high pressure and the intermediate pressure onto one crank. Tangy said that's a dumb idea. Okay. We won't put our name to it because it's going to break. Tangies were right. It broke in 1904 and in 1934 the shaft broke.
Okay.
Had to be replaced. That's its 3rd shaft at the moment.
Yep.
And that was made in 34, 35 in Sydney and machined in Melbourne.
Okay.
So we were offline apparently for a year and a half. And what they did in the interim was just run one pump. These are the actual pumps.
Yep.
They put an electric motor down there. That last pump you can see wasn't actually there and was only added after the restoration to make it
Okay.
look pretty.
Yep.
That's where they sat the electric motor, which at least turned one pump and kept part of the irrigation going.
Yeah.
When it was running in its heyday, there were the 3 pumps, and between them they put out about 500,000 litres a minute.
Wow.
So it's a decent pump. And it's, when you hear it running, it's surprisingly quiet. The most noise comes off the timing gears, which are not quite perfect, but they've been like it for 140 years and nobody's going to change it.
That's right. Excellent. Good on you, Mase. Thanks very much for having a chat to us.
Okay, I'll get back to work.
Rightio. I'm with Ian Kellett, who was part of the restoration program when it started in 1988. Morning, Ian. How are you?
Yeah, good morning.
Can you tell us a little bit about what was involved in restoring the old girl and how long it took?
Yeah, it initially started in 1988 and it was as a result of FMIT, which was the first Mildura Irrigation Trust that owned the building and the complex back in those days. And 2 of their board members had a bit of foresight and thought that this was an ideal opportunity to restore the pump station, which closed down in 1959.
Yep.
And as a result of that, the board agreed that they should do something about getting it restored and up and running as a museum piece.
Preserving some local history.
Preserving local history,
Yep.
yeah, well, it all revolved around the Chaffey brothers,
Yep.
as everybody's probably aware, but yeah, it was one of their major infrastructures that needed to be done to actually put the irrigation system in place
Yep.
in Sunraysia.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, so the board accepted the fact that this should be done, and they approached the Steam Preservation Society back then, and the president was Fred Mavey at the time, and said to Fred, do you think that you could get this up and running? And Fred, very gleefully, from his Yorkshire accent, and absolutely had no hesitation in saying yes. So that's where it all stemmed from, the actual beginning of the restoration.
And how many of you were involved there at the start?
Back then, I didn't come on the scene until 1990.
Okay,
So,
yep.
But back then there was about a dozen volunteers.
Yep.
And when I came down here, I think we were up around about the 15 to 20 mark.
Yep.
And we were down here on a regular Sunday morning, working away, and fortunately some of us were able to get down during the week and do a little bit from time to time.
Awesome.
And so it stemmed from there. Fortunately, unfortunately, over the years after the building was closed up and the boiler house was removed, the vandals got in and really took toll on what brass components they could on the engine.
Yep.
So fortunately there was another engine in the district. There was 2 of them built, and the second one was the old Billabong pump station engine, and it was on static display up at Rio Vista.
Okay.
And we were able to take quite a few of the parts off that and get new parts manufactured for this engine here down at Psyche, and that's how we were able to actually get the running components back together again. To be able to do that.
Yeah. So I'd imagine it's so hard. You'd have to manufacture all your parts, wouldn't you? You wouldn't be able to, it's not something you can just go and grab something off the shelf at Repco, is it?
No, exactly. It would have been nice, but it wasn't that easy, unfortunately. And but obviously over a period of time, those bits and pieces got made up.
Yep.
And also thanks to a lot of the local industry that helped out getting the machine to precision for the operation, and so that was done over the years. So we had from when the FMIT approached the Steam Preservation Society and said, this is what we'd like done, there was a bit of a later clause that came into the agreement, and that was that they wanted it up and running by 2005. And
so the challenge was on.
The challenge was on. So as a result of that, we had that task in front of us, and because the reason being they wanted it up and running in 2005, that coincided with the centenary of the FMIT.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, and as it happened,
you got there.
We got there.
Yep.
Yeah, on the 25th of October, I think it was.
Beautiful.
2005, that it was actually recommissioned.
Yep.
And it was very interesting leading up to that last week, still a lot of work had to be done inside, and we actually got the engine running probably a fortnight before that, which was terrific. But we had problems getting the pumps to prime.
Okay.
And, but we eventually got there and got them
up and running
the day before, and everything went smoothly for the opening. So,
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Good on you, Ian. Thanks very much
No
for
worries
talking
at
to me.
all.
I'm going to have a bit more of a wander around, and we'll see the old girl fire up shortly.
No worries.
Good on you, mate.
Thank you. So,
Thank you. Well, the boiler's firing up, so we're not too far away from the old girl pumping some water. The pumps drew water directly from the Murray, and then it distributed it throughout Sunraysia via a number of lift stations. Nearly ready to rock. I'm here with Peter Wharton, who's just been awarded the life membership to the Sunraysia Steam Preservation Society. G'day, Peter, how are you?
I'm very good, thanks. Actually, I'm quite good today.
That's good. Tell me, how did you get involved?
Well, I got involved through the first Mildura Irrigation Trust,
Yeah.
who were virtually given the running of it, the organisation of it. And then I was on the board of directors of the FMIT.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And when I retired from there, they dragged me along to a meeting and said, now you're going to become a member of the Steam Preservation Society.
So you got told.
You virtually got told, yes. So that was back in 1998, 97 or 98, I think it was.
Okay,
so,
yep.
Yeah. So I've been an official member of the Steam Preservation Society for quite a while.
Quite a while. And this is your life membership award here? We'll show that there.
Which was very, very nicely they presented it to me,
Yep.
yeah.
Very good. Well, thanks for having a chat to me. I'm going to keep wandering around and having a look at the bits and pieces around here, but congratulations.
Thank you.
Good on you, Peter. Well, there you have it, guys. Mildura's historic Psyche Pump, standing tall as a testament to Mildura's rich history. If you like this video, check this one out here, and also have a look at outandaboutsunraysia.com.au for some more great content. But be good, stay safe, and bye for now.